Good evening, my friend. Welcome to WDW Radio Live. I am Lou Mongello. It is Wednesday night, my favorite night of the week, because I get to spend and share it with you. If you are watching live, thank you so very much for being here. Please do me a favor, go grab a snack and or a drink, tag and invite a friend, and if you're watching on the replay, join us, here every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. I'm sorry that I missed last week's show. I was in literally beautiful downtown Boise, Idaho for a conference, and between the time change and the jet lag and the dinner and snacks, I just could not make it happen, but I appreciate you being here. Becky says I hate that I'm going to miss open mic night because we're hitting cruising altitude. Becky, don't be cheap. Go for the Wi-Fi on your flight. Safe travels wherever your journeys are taking you. And if you have watched the show before, thank you. And watch when I'm here, things might look a little bit different. I'm playing around with some new equipment, a little new tech, trying to continue to enhance the overall experience, although I still need my glasses to read your comments. And if you are watching here for the first time, please do me a favor, let me know where you're watching from and if you could ride one attraction in Walt Disney World over and over and over again, what would it be and why? So Karen, Amy, Doris, nice to see you all again. Becky is going to London. Joshua, that would not surprise me. No place. We should play a game every week. Like, where in the world is Becky Mankin? And just see who gets it right without actually following her on social. So, but tonight I had originally planned to be out and about in Walt Disney World like I was a couple of weeks ago from Disney's Hollywood Studios and the Rest in Peace Muppets Courtyard, but tonight the day just got away from me. I'm juggling a lot of stuff, details of which are unimportant. So I'm here. I don't know what's going on with my hair tonight. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But tonight really is all about you. Rather than me to sort of pepper you with 20 questions, it's open mic night. It's anything that you would want to chat about, anything that you want to ask me about. It can be in the Disney, Marvel, Star Wars universe. It could be outside of that. You want to talk business stuff. You want to talk about Momentum, which is coming up in October. We have less than 15 seats left, by the way, if you are interested in joining us for my Momentum Week workshop. It is now 4 days instead of 3, still 50 people, still one room, still a dedicated workshop where you not just learn from people who have walked the walk, but more importantly, you do the work in the room to make a real difference in your life and business. The early bird special is still going on. You can save now $100 off of your ticket. If you have any questions about Momentum to see if it's right for you, go to loumongello.com/Mongello. Let's try this again, Mongello. I'm starving and undercaffeinated. loumongello.com/Momentum. There is full details there. You can purchase your ticket there. The discount is automatically applied. There's also an FAQ, but you can also reach out to me, lou@WDWradio.com, if you have any questions about Momentum. It really is an amazing time. It has been a transformative experience over, I think this is the 8th year that we're doing this. Not just for me, but for the people in attendance. And look, if you are not sure, if you want to sort of turn what you love into what you do, but maybe you're not sure if you're ready for Momentum yet, there's lots of the ways we could work together. And I actually have a mindset course that you can download. It's free at loumongello.com/mindset mastery. And I also have a $7 email course. If you want to sort of get started in the pursuit of your passion dream, you can take my $7 email course. It comes to you, when I say email, it comes to you in your inbox over 5 days. So you don't have to check anything. You don't have to go log in and register. It is just a series of exercises and sort of almost little mini workshops that you can do on your own at your own pace over 5 days. And it's only $7, which I believe is less than the cost of a Starbucks cup of coffee. And now, by the way, so for years, I'm like, everybody's like, who are you talking to? Usually it's the door. Somebody bought me like a Peter Pan sticker. I now have a 4.5 foot tall Baymax plush that I got from, somebody didn't believe me. I literally have a 4.5 foot tall Baymax plush that my son got to, I haven't told the story yet, that my son got to me when we were in Tokyo Disney Sea on the last day, and I literally had to buy an extra piece of luggage just to get him home. But now I have like a Baymax and I can relate a lot to Baymax, not just because we shop at the same short and fluffy stores, but we're both huggers. I very much care about your care, and so now I have a healthcare companion in my office. Chris says, "Who is my dream momentum guest speaker?" Oh, that's a great question. I've been actually very fortunate because people that have been my dream speakers have actually been at Momentum before. So I've had Ashley Eckstein, I've had Dan Cockrell, I've had Lee Cockrell, I've had Stephen Schussler from the Boathouse. Baymax and I, our bodies are by the Boathouse. So and this year I've got Jason Sorrell, an amazing, incredibly smart former Imagineer, coming to keynote, as well as Gwendolyn Rogers, who is the founder of the Cake Bake Shop. So entrepreneurs, storytellers, they're going to share their journey and how you can turn what you love into what you do as well. Let me see. What of the new announcements of the parks this last few weeks has me the most excited? There's a few things. I had a lot of conversations over the past few weeks for obvious reasons about Abu Dhabi. And especially we've talked about Abu Dhabi in terms of some of the questions that people have, some of the concerns that people have, but we also talk about some of the opportunities that Abu Dhabi is going to present, especially in the context of things like Tokyo Disney Sea, showing what Disney is able to do when they have the blessing of, the funds to execute on some of the visions that they have. I think that part of the country is going to lend itself, but that part of the world is going to lend itself to unique opportunities in terms of storytelling. So I'm very curious. I very much have a wait and see attitude about a lot of different things as well. So, yeah. So was Baymax fun to bring home? So my son got it for me as a surprise at the end of the night, right before our last attraction of the entire trip, which was Journey to the Center of the Earth. And we weren't able to get priority passes because they were gone for the night, because it was literally the last ride of the night. So I'm in the queue with this giant Baymax, like I'm holding him in my arms, trying to like carry him on my back. And look, the kawaii plushy culture is very normal, way more so than here in Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea. But I sort of like, usually they have little Duffy keychains and little Chondus. I'm carrying around this giant Baymax. I'm very happy I was able to get him home in one piece. So, Kimberly, I love this Baymax. I do. I love this Baymax, and I'm so happy that. And yes, Emily, a Baymax and I could share the same clothing actually, because he is about the same height as me. I literally thought I was going to have to get like a seat for him on the plane. I'm like, how am I going to bring this home? The last night of our trip, I had to go out to Don Quixote. It's this wild, like 7-story. They're throughout Japan. It's souvenir shop meets department store meets kitschy store meets electronic, and I was able to find this massive, like 180 liter, whatever size, whatever like that is in inches, duffel bag to bring him home. So I didn't throw Baymax across the room. I gave him a hug first, and then I put him down. I have a little like couch in my office, and Baymax dominates the entire. I can no longer use this couch not that I use it for anything else, but if I could make, I like this question. If I could make any Disney food item appear right now in front of me, what would it be, and why would it be? So it would not be corn dog nuggets. Right, let me try and fix this. I don't know why this is all funky. Again, I'm trying to do a couple different things here with the with some of my tech setup. So please be patient as I try and fix and tweak some of this. And I'm only making it much, much worse. What would be the one food item that I would want in front of me right now, it would not be corn dog nuggets, Nate. And I'm stalling for time because I'm trying to fix and see why this is happening like this. Well, it doesn't matter. It's fine. If I could have one Disney food item appear in front of me right now, I'll take you through my train of thought. Is it, would it be a cozy cone? Would it be a chili con carne from Cars Land? No. Would it be something from Tokyo Disneyland? I really can't choose. You know what? I'll go with the cone because that's where my mind and my heart and my stomach brought me first. So we'll say cozy cone. By the way, thank you so much, Amy. That's very nice of you. I really appreciate that. Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted to do. Let me see. Becky caused a scene and got Virgin to turn on the Wi-Fi. And Deborah, I agree with you. Journey to the Center of the Earth is the best attraction. Although I will give huge kudos. I think so. I had a long conversation yesterday with somebody about this who had just come back from Tokyo Disney Sea. Was over there for quite some time working actually. I think there's a few attractions at Disney Sea that do not get the attention or love that they deserve. Journey to the Center of Earth is one that people talk about a lot. It's very, very impressive. Ride system, views, everything. I think ones that don't is the Voyages of Sinbad, which was supposed to be the last ride of the night. And we're like, well, we have a few more minutes. We can ride Journey one more time. And, you know, in Fantasy Springs, and this is where we almost came to blows yesterday. Not quite, but everybody's talking about Frozen, and it's impressive. Frozen is impressive in Tokyo Disney Sea, in Fantasy Springs. I actually do not think it is the best attraction there. Not even close. I did not know that Peter Pan, there was another Peter Pan attraction in Fantasy Springs. I think it is exponentially better than the Frozen attraction in Fantasy Springs, and I will die on that hill. I think it is that good. If you've ever ridden Spider-Man in Universal, it is that exponentially better. The movement of the ride vehicle, the screens, the music, the sentimental, it's spectacular. It is absolutely spectacular. So, yes, Becky, I didn't get, come here, Baymax, let's come back. So, all right, I'll tell you the story really quickly. While we were walking through the park, I was with my son. My son and I spent a little bit more time than the rest of the group, including my wife and daughter. And he just knows about my affection for Baymax. And we were in a store, and we saw the giant plush, and I just gave him. He has a picture, a very embarrassing picture of me just giving him like this huge hug. He's like, get it, bring it home. I'm like, dude, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this home? He's like, get a little plush keychain. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, Becky actually bought me, wait, Big Baymax, sit here for a second. Becky actually brought me the cool little Baymax keychain on the last thing. So the last night we're getting ready to leave, and he says, oh, go get online for popcorn, because that's what you do in Tokyo Disney Sea. He says, I got to run to the men's room. I'll be right back. As I'm getting to the front of the line, I see him coming back with this huge white plastic bag, and he surprised me with Baymax. And here he sits. So, Suzanne Armstrong, if I didn't like you before, I love the fact that you say living with the land because it is your happy place and very zen. You know, I don't think I ride that attraction enough. You gotta like work to get there. You gotta go inside, you gotta go downstairs. I don't think I ride that attraction enough. Jeff C., we run the show tonight. I want the Grease sing along. You start and I will chime in. So if you have the call in number, I will patch you in, and if you start singing, we'll do Born to Hand Jive with you any day of the week. Jeff and we were just together in beautiful downtown Boise, Idaho. Had a really good time. You know, conferences are great, but community is better. And when you're able to enjoy and experience these things with friends, it makes for a much better time, especially when you go out to eat and you can order multiple things off the menu. And I got a bit of a bourbon education. I'm not a big drinker, but I was taught a lot about the intricacies of bourbon from Jeff and what's the other guy's name? Paul. Becky, I don't kid about Baymax. I do not kid about Baymax. I love him very, very, very much. I love him, the character, and I love him, this guy, because my son got him for me. Emily says we had to buy new luggage on both cruises we've done with the clubhouse. That is something that normally happens. I think even more so. You know, it's sort of like a running joke about Japan. They say go to Japan and either pack your luggage halfway, which is very hard to do, or bring a duffel bag, or be prepared to buy another piece of luggage. And usually, like, I'm not a big merch guy, but it happens because the merch throughout Japan, especially in Tokyo, Disneyland, Disney Sea, is so very well done. Sam, we can talk about Egypt. I don't even have the graphic to put up because we announced our Adventures by Disney to Egypt for February 2027, and in less than 24 hours, it's sold out, which I think I've done a lot of things that have shocked Becky before. I think that may have been one of the most shocking. Egypt is currently sold out. However, we are taking waitlist names on a first come, first serve basis. I'm not saying that we'll do 2 Egypt trips, but I will tell you that next month we are doing 2 Adventures by Disney almost back to back to Disneyland in Southern California. So it has been done before. It can be done again. Japan, I'm also looking at you. I've gotten a lot of people asking, hey, tell me you're going back to Japan. Please tell me where it is, and can I give you a deposit right away? So if you are interested in Egypt or Japan or somewhere else, if you're interested in Egypt, go to www.radio.com/Egypt27. And if you're interested in Japan, just reach out to me and message me and let me know. So I watched one of your COVID live streams. So, Amy, you are watching, obviously, on YouTube. Thank you for going back and watching. Unfortunately, if you watch on Facebook, in their infinite wisdom, they have decided that lives over 30 days are now going to be deleted. And considering that I have, let me see, I have 18 years of live video on Facebook that, I obviously was not going to go back and download and re-upload somewhere else. They are, when I did start posting them on YouTube, they are there. Not all of them are there, unfortunately, but it is one of the reasons why I broadcast to both locations. I have experimented in the past broadcasting only to YouTube. There were some pros and some cons. Let's just say it is an ongoing experiment because, there are some difficulties on the Facebook side, but I get not everybody's on Facebook, not everybody's on YouTube. It's a lot. How come you didn't tell me how emotional I would get during the D23 tour of Walt Disney Studios? Heather, I think you, just by virtue of where you are, you almost have to know. First of all, I should put that warning and disclaimer. Becky, we need to add that to the sign-up forms for these adventures. There's always a lot of crying at my events. I just realized that. It could be ABDs, it could be cruises, it sometimes meets of the month. It happens at Momentum a lot, but they're good cries. They're happy cries. They are like fulfillment of dream cries. They are sentimental, emotional cries. But yes, and I think maybe what I need to start doing is get branded WDW Radio tissues sponsored by Mouse Fan Travel for all of the events. So Nate says, oh, I should have said bread. Oh, Sanaa bread service is good. I don't know why, the last couple of days, I have been craving eat, like EET, not I want to eat, in Disney Springs. If only there was anybody, who would go with me. But Sanaa bread service is a great, you never let anyone come on there because you're afraid to see the whiteboard. Yes and no. The whiteboard, while it's still there, I will say that the whiteboard, while it does have some things that there are some planes that are in flight. There are also some ideas. It's actually really interesting because there's some things that are on there that I had ideas for that I never executed on. And now that I look at one, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So I have a digital whiteboard that I sort of put a lot of these things on and projects that I'm working on, including another podcast, which I know I announced a few months ago. It's taking me a little bit of time. Hopefully in the next few weeks, I will be able to start releasing that. It is going to be on the business side of things, but more for creators and solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. So stay tuned. But yeah, there are, I mean, I don't, this is my fortress of solitude. This is like my sanctuary. So there's not a lot. Being a solopreneur is a very lonely existence for the most part. So, but yeah, this is, yeah. I'm trying to have high hopes for Test Track 3.0, but the preview videos are so-so. So Kyle, I am really going to try and stay away from any or all of the preview videos. I don't like seeing those things in advance. I really like to experience them for the first time with my own eyes. It was very much the same way even in Japan. I did not see any of the videos. I had never seen a video for the Tangled attraction, for Frozen. I didn't even know Peter Pan was there. So I'm definitely going to do the same for here and experience it when the attraction first opens. What is my favorite Muppets memory? I may have talked about this in the past, and this is silly and it's embarrassing and it's fine because we're friends and family. So when I was a kid, I have a younger brother. He is 6 years younger than I. We love the Muppets. We grew up with the Muppets. We literally had the Muppet movie memorized. And God bless my family. God bless my parents, my grandparents, and all the people. So every Sunday, but as Italians do, we used to go into Brooklyn. What's up with my hair tonight? We used to go into Brooklyn on Ocean Parkway to my grandmother's house. There was like 25 of us there. My parents had bought us, and I actually have one. My brother got me. I don't want to get up and get it, but they used to make these Muppet hand puppets. And we had Kermit, Fozzie, Ralph, Miss Piggy, and Gonzo. Yes. Yeah. He bought me a Fozzie one for Christmas. And she had a kitchen that had a pass-through window to sort of the area where the big dining table was. And my brother and I, why am I telling you this? My brother and I put on we did our own rendition of the Muppet Show in puppet format and made my poor family sit through that. I am sorry and thankful to all of you. So that is my favorite Muppets memory. It's probably not what you were looking for, but that's what it was. What's a ride in Disneyland Paris you would ride multiple times? Phantom or Pirates of the Caribbean? Oh, it would be Phantom Manor. It's not even, Pirates wasn't even a consideration, Amy, and no disrespect to you for choosing Pirates, which is the wrong answer. But yeah, Phantom Manor all day, every day. I don't even think there's anything for me that would be remotely close to it. Yeah, it's Phantom Manor without a doubt. It is unique. Is Phantom Manor the best of all the Haunted Mansions? I could absolutely make an argument for it. Kyle Ballmeyer, you know what's so funny? You guys know me so well. The amount of emails, texts, direct messages, phone calls, and like photos and videos I received. I don't know, where was I? I guess I was in Boise when the Spaceballs 2 news dropped. May have been more than any other Disney news that I have ever gotten shared by other people. I'm incredibly excited. God bless you, Mel Brooks, who is in his upper 90s and does not look it. We were promised at the end of the original Spaceballs, the search for more money. I hope that is not it. I hope that Spaceballs 2, I don't even want to say the words History of the World Part 2. That was a Hulu drop. That was awful. It was awful. It was unwatchable. It disrespected the name of History of the World. I'm just hoping and praying that Spaceballs 2 is not it. And I'm going to throw this out there right now. And I'm taking off my glasses for actual pronounced effect. If they don't have a little baby Yoda and call him Grogurt, right? Because Yoda was yogurt. If they don't call him Grogurt, I'm going to be very upset. That's it. That is my contribution to Spaceballs 2, the quest for more money. So, if I could bring back one defunct Disney attraction, what would it be? 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. There's part of me that wants to say Horizons, but I think, I can talk myself into both. But I think 20,000 Leagues. I know we still have subs in Disneyland, but they're Nemo subs now. I think 20,000 Leagues was so... First of all, I love the whole Jules Verne-esque thing, which is why I love Mysterious Island Disney Sea so much. It would be 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. A close second would be Horizons. And I'm assuming you mean bring them back exactly as they were, not updating them for the 21st century. It would probably still be, just because it was a special attraction, and hopefully, I acknowledge it was not the most accessible attraction if you had mobility issues and things like that, but it was cool, and I just have a lot of great fond memories from childhood. So let me see. Is there any chance of a WDW Radio sponsored trip to Tokyo Disney? Not an ABD, just the parks. Randall Jackson. I cannot say anything other than the fact that when Ms. Mankin and I were texting earlier today, the word Japan came up more times than once. And now that's it. That is all I'm going to say about that. But if you're interested in going to Japan as a group, whether it is an Adventures by Disney or just to the Disney parks, maybe if somebody could put this in the clubhouse, that would be helpful. Just a little poll. Would you be interested in a group trip to Japan? Is one option an Adventures by Disney to Japan again, and or the Japan, Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea, just for giggles. Is Tokyo Disney Sea and Tokyo Disneyland going to be next week? We haven't recorded it yet. Obviously, I need to have Becky on the show for that. She has been traveling, so I want to be respectful of her travel schedule and her ability to have relatively decent Wi-Fi access. So we will do it at some point in the future. I promise we will come back to that once again. Although, too, my travel schedule is about to get cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't need to get into it now, but the next few months, they're going to be wild. So, let's see. Sean just went crazy for my Karen. I love Baymax, like for so many reasons. The office used to be full of Spider-Man, but now Baymax is. There's still a lot of Spider-Man here. Although, I will say today I was having a very cathartic day, in a variety of reasons, and I did do. I'm trying to clean up and clean out and simplify some things, and I just took down 2, 4, 6, 8. I took down about 30 different Spider-Man Funko Pops that I am going to part with so that they go to a good home. I will be putting those on an eBay auction. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, if I'm going to do it individually or batch them. They're not all Spider-Man. There's some Disney ones too. If you're a Funko collector, I've got some really cool exclusive ones that I got from events and drops. And so, yeah, stay tuned. I'll let you know when I put those up. But still a lot of Spider-Man, a bunch of Daredevil. There's some Battlestar Galactica. There's a whole lot of Japan going on. Yeah, there's a lot happening. I'm even trying to purge a lot of books too. I have a lot of books. I'm out of book space. I have a shelf here. I've got these shelves here. I have 8x8. Oh, wait, is it 1, 2, 3? Yeah, in my bedroom that are almost full. So I'm trying to purge some of my books as well. So I have seen the new Big Hero 6. I never buy bucket hats, and not only I'm not a bucket hat guy. I'm definitely not a bucket hat guy, but I also saw the microbot, the bot fighting like sipper. I don't know what I would do with it, but man, that's cool. I also don't know how I'd get it home either. Vera Mike's, God, I haven't done impressions of France in such a long time. The music in that, next time I go to Epcot, I'm going to make it a point of grabbing myself some sort of like French bread snack and then going in to do impressions de France. Jeff C says, that's why I'll be at Momentum every year. Nothing grows your business like hanging out with smart people. And the fact that it's during Food and Wine Festival, which Jeff also likes. Jeff is speaking again this year on AI and I'm going to say nice things about Jeff because I'll pretend he's not here. AI is obviously such an important part of our daily lives, both personally and professionally. And Jeff has always been on such the forefront of the advances in the technology and being able to discern what apps, what services are best to use to facilitate growth in your business, to help you become more productive, to have more fun. And he curates a lot of those and then shows you how to leverage them to help you grow in your business, especially if you're a creator, especially if you are a solopreneur. You don't have to wade through thousands of apps and spend lots of money. He goes through them and more importantly shows you not just what you should use, but actually how to use it. So don't come for me, don't come for Food and Wine, but come for Jeff C. So Becky says, you're not a sweets guy, you're not a big drinker. I'm really not a big drinker. I'm not. Becky, you know that. I would take an iced tea over anything 9 times out of 10. But we were out and I do like a nice old fashioned. I could actually, at this point, I think I could do my top 5 old fashions in Walt Disney World. Should I do top? Maybe I should write that down. I mean, at the very least, it would be fun to do. And I already know 2 excellent ones. Should I put a poll here? Should I do a top 5 old fashions in Walt Disney World? So for a first time trip to Disneyland, would 3 full days be good to try and do a majority lot of the attractions and whatnot? I think you can. I think 3 days. I think in a perfect world, I would do 4. It also depends on the time of year that you're going, what attractions you do and don't do. But I think you could do a majority of the must-dos and e-ticket attractions, including food. That's a lot of food to eat in 3 days. It can be done. Yeah, you can absolutely do it. So, and if you're thinking about going, book a trip through mousefantravel.com. So, when do we go on Disney Adventure in Singapore? So Marie, that is a great question. We don't have an official group yet for that. I know Becky and I are planning on doing a research trip on it. Becky, we have to talk about that. Maybe just sort of sharing when we're going and seeing if anybody else wants to join us on our research adventure. So the next Adventures by Disney aside from next month. So I have 2. We're doing 2 Adventures by Disney to Disneyland Southern California. In September, we're doing an Adventures by Disney river cruise on the Seine, which also, as an option, has a, what's called an Adventures by Disney Escape, which is like a mini 3-day Adventures by Disney in Paris first. Then we do the river cruise, and then we bookend that with a couple days in Disneyland Paris. So technically, that is the next one, although it is it is a river cruise. There is the Disneyland Paris portion ahead of that. We have Egypt coming in 2027. And it's funny, I was looking through earlier today, my Adventures by Disney guide. I was like, what other places can and should we go to? Becky and I have a lot to discuss the next time we meet. So, Jack Fussell, it has been a long time, and I hope you are doing well. What are my thoughts about D23 Destination D in August? Caleb, I have none other than why have we not heard anything about Destination D23 in August? And I still don't know what is happening with my hair. Did I fall asleep on the side of my head in the middle of the day today? And did I pass out on the side of my head? It doesn't matter. Caleb, I will tell you, it's June 18th, and the fact that we have not heard or seen anything about this at all has me curious. There you go. Excuse me. Let me, tandoori chicken poutine. Kyle, you're talking about Eat in Disney Springs, and I agree. Sean from But Mostly Disney, watching, listening on your Metaglass. That's amazing. That is so cool. From Disney Springs, Ribsons. I know, dude, I'm sorry. That's where I should have been tonight. That's where I should have been tonight. The day got away from me, and by the time I realized what time it was, he was already being seated. He invited me to join him. We could be right there, right now, together, arm in arm, like wrapping rib, like we would have our ribs. It would be a very beautiful romantic evening, and I blew it. So I'm sorry, brother. We will have it. Yeah, Becky walk. Becky, Becky, just keep walking. It is not. We could find something for you there, but I think it's just a little bit far outside of your comfort zone. It's a very narrow comfort zone. It's like white rice, and that's about it. It's just it's a very narrow comfort zone. Okay, white rice and French fries. And anything out there is a little too sus for Becky. Let me see. Must do things for a day in Disneyland Paris. You have to do the Alice in Wonderland walkthrough. You have to do Big Thunder Mountain. You have to do Phantom Manor. You have to walk through Adventure Isle. Food, honestly, it is not Disneyland Paris' strong suit, so I would not waste a lot of time with that unless you want to go to Walt's, more for the environment than so for the food. Lucille used to live near Ocean Park. I haven't been there in decades. I have not been there. I'm sure it would look very different. So Joseph Bramlett, what is my take on Muppets taking over Rock and Roller Coaster? I've said this before. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it will attract more people who are coaster people to Muppets. I think there's a lot of opportunity there with the Electric Mayhem Band. The one sort of downside to it is if you are not a coaster person, it does go upside down. It is in the dark. If you're not a coaster person, if you don't make the height requirement like me and Baymax, it does leave out a lot of people. However, I know nothing in more ways than one. I really believe that the plan for that area is the villain show is in the Sunset Theater now. I think that it is an appetizer. It's a temporary appetizer course for the Villains Land, which is coming obviously to Magic Kingdom. I think when that happens, Villains in Disney's Hollywood Studios closes, and I think that becomes a Muppet attraction. I think there's also a possibility, and this is where I would love to see that become a Muppet-themed restaurant. The way it was supposed to be where Muppet's Courtyard was, which was going to be Gondo's Pandemonium Pizza Parlor, where there were going to be like animatronics and props and all kinds of things going on. It was going to be this very fun, interactive, almost theater in the round type of experience. If you go back to the Muppets That Never Were in Walt Disney World, I think Jim Corcus and I talked a lot about that. Rest in peace, Jim. I love and miss you. So I think that is going to be the new Muppets Courtyard eventually. That's what I think is going to happen. You are kind of poofy. You know, I just said all these nice things about her. Baymax. She just called me poofy. You know what, though? I'll embrace it. I don't even care. I'm not even going to retort. My favorite Muppet. I'm going to give you the lawyer answer, Suzanne, because obviously I love Kermit for all the different reasons. But I will say that in the past few years, I have taken a little bit of a shine to Pepe the King Prawn. I love him, I love him on the fantasy. I love him on some of the Disney Plus stuff. So, if I was stranded on a desert island with one Muppet, who would it be? Not that Muppets would be on a desert island, and they wouldn't be alone because it'd be somebody with whatever. I'm thinking way too much into this. It'd probably be Kermit. Doc Hopper's French fried frog legs. I was lucky to meet Tom Nabby today, who's being interviewed by the Disney archivist at Steakhouse 71 this morning. I think he said that he was going to Tom Sawyer Island today. I'm going to try desperately. I have an interview with Tom that I did a couple of years ago. I'm going to try and do that for the archive show tomorrow. So if you missed it, stay tuned. And I'm also doing some stuff with the podcast. So if you happen to notice anything wonky with your podcast feed, you shouldn't. If you do, please let me know what it is, just so I can address it quickly. Austin, nice to see you. Yeah, Mel Brooks is going to be 98. That is wild. So, let's see. Chad Williams says, having only been to Disney World, I have so much more to explore. Becky can hook you up. Becky and the entire Mouse Fan travel team, they are the ones to hook you up, whether you're going to Japan or anywhere on the planet. And by the way, free. FREE, free. Literally, there's no catch. They get paid by the suppliers. They don't get paid by you. So everything they do is all about taking care of you. Oh, God, Austin, why are you trying to make me cry? What is my favorite memory with my kids at any Disney park? I have a memory when I took my daughter for the very first time. She was in a stroller on Main Street, and she was eating ice cream, and she was watching the parade go by, just wide-eyed, ice cream all over her face, which I love. There was a very special moment that somebody created for us one time where we went to the park, and she's like, listen, after the 12 o'clock castle show, go behind the castle and knock on the door. And I did that, and I knocked on the door, and we walked in, and there were all the princesses and princes there. And we walked in, and they're like, hey, Princess Marion. Hey, Prince Nicholas. My kids' brains just fell out of their heads. I think my daughter might have been wearing a Snow White dress at the time. The real Snow White, not the Rachel Zegler Snow White. It's a different story for a different time. Just weep. Tears. And there's a moment I remember in Disneyland, standing in front of the castle. They had Oswald ears on, and I was taking a video. I did the slow motion video of them just jumping up, and just the pure, simple joy that they just were exuding on their faces, just being there. Those are the ones that sort of stick out to me first. And I'm going to go cry into my Baymax now because my kids are 21 and my son's about to be 20. So, yeah, thank you. Let me see. 20,000 Leagues All the Way. Thomas Swan, you're on a cruise. What cruise are you on, and where are you going, and what was for dinner tonight? The Orange Grove smell from Horizons still lives in my mind. So, Deborah, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Years ago, I was hired so I'm also in addition to everything I do here, on the business side, I'm also a professional keynote speaker. And I talk a lot about leveraging lessons from the Disney parks in terms of customer service and leadership lessons and storytelling and things like that. I was hired by it's a National Association of Funeral Directors. No problem. I crafted something specifically for their industry. And when I went to speak, I don't even remember where it was. They had a little show floor, because I guess there is a funeral industry. And I met the people that make the little Smelitzer beads. They make the scents for the Smelitzers that they pump out into Horizons onto Main Street. And she gave me some. And then for Becky, remember D23, she lent me a Smelitzer, and we had the scent of the art. I forgot about this. It was probably 2011, 2013. It was one of the early ones. We had this, you couldn't really smell it because it was just such a wide open space. But we had the Smelitzer scent with the scent from the orange groves in Horizons there. God, I completely forgot about that until you just brought it up. Chad Williams says, yes. The Magic of Mayhem, Japan is on my top list to go visit. Is it something high on the list? If it's not the highest on your list, Magic of Mayhem, put it there. It absolutely needs to be the number one place to go. It is an incredibly, incredibly special place, which we tried to convey on the show. Hopefully we did a relatively decent job. Japan ABD is expensive. I get it. A Tokyo Disney Sea sounds amazing. Becky, we should absolutely, yes, we should definitely talk. We have a Disneyland trip scheduled for July. Top 3. Oh, come on, man. Must have food items. So you have to get a cozy cone or 6. I would have said the shawarma, but the last time we were there, I don't want to talk about my shawarma experience. I did not. They did not. They ruined. I thought of that scene. Look what they did to my boy. Look what they did to my shawarma. That was a bad impression from The Godfather. But look what they did to my little boy. Look what they did to my beautiful shawarma. I would do cozy cone. I would go to Maurice's Treats Cart in Fantasyland and get all of the bread and coffee snacks that are. Oh my God, I can't wait to go in a couple weeks. I'm so excited. I just thought about that. God, you have to get a corn dog from the Little Red Wagon. I'm thinking about like quintessential. You need to have a Matterhorn macaron just because. That's more than 3, but that'll get you started. What Japanese antiquities did you bring back? So I actually brought back. Oh, you know what? I just brought them into my. I just brought them into another room because I need to get them framed. I went to an antique store and bought some Japanese antique pencil drawings and paintings that, I could not believe they're hundreds of years old. They're beautiful, and I was able to get home when I need to get them framed. Bringing home souvenirs is great, but bringing home something that is special and unique was almost more important to me. I also have. I don't have one here. I brought home a couple of little. Again, they're antique little dishes and sake cups and things like that as well. So I need to go back. Most important attraction to experience at Disneyland for a first timer. Suzanne, that's a great question. If you're going to Disneyland and you're a first timer, what is the one attraction you need to go and experience? Man, I can argue that a lot of different ways. I'll think that one out loud because I could make an argument for the train. I could make an argument for Small World. I could make an argument for Pirates. I could make an argument for Haunted Mansion. I'm going classic first, and I'm trying to think about things that are unique to Disneyland Park. I mean, there's a bunch you can choose in Fantasyland. And I say that not just meaning things like Mr. Toad, but, I think Fantasyland was special to Walt. I think that was, in many respects, sort of the impetus to bring his two-dimensional stories to life. That was almost maybe the catalyst for what ended up becoming Disneyland. So the fact that many of them are still there makes Fantasyland, I think, a very special place in Disneyland. Yeah, I would ride the riverboat too. That's not helpful at all. I just named like every attraction in Disneyland. I'm sorry. That was useless. So I'm gonna be live from Animal Kingdom Resort one Wednesday night. I should actually. That's a great idea because I then can get. What if I go live from Sanaa while I'm eating bread service? I'm going to literally write this down. I don't know what my schedule is next Wednesday. However, it now may include Sanaa on Wednesday night. Amy, that's a great idea. Thank you so much. Kevin Shea, it's good to see you, brother. Perfect night to get in our Disney fix. It's been a week, not even over. Time to book a trip? Question. Yes, it is. What is the best resort at Disney World for a large family? 9 people and an infant all in one place. I think 3-bedroom villa. Twist is, some family members have never been. People have never been to Disney and don't love crowds. So, I think there's a couple of things that you can do that not only would give you the space, but would also afford you a unique opportunity. So you can do things, you can do something like a cabin at Fort Wilderness, but that's because it's so separate from everything else other than taking the boat over to the TTC. You could do a treehouse villa. You can do a Polynesian bungalow. Again, you didn't say anything about budget, so I'm just sort of like, you can do a treehouse villa, a Polynesian bungalow. I'm trying to think where else I would go. You could do Riviera because you got the Skyliner right there. And I know that I think Yacht and Beach Club have some of the larger suites as well. And you've never been, so if you don't like crowds, I was thinking like the ease of being able to get back to your resort. That's why something like the Polynesian, even in the new tower, they have some of the suites there. And again, you could also do like connecting rooms is always another option for you as well. I would also, Kevin, I would go to your Mouse Fan Travel Advisor and see what is available in terms of accommodating that space and what you want. Do you want to all be in the same exact place? Do you want to just have connecting rooms? Is it about trying to be all in that same room, which I get and I dig, right? Because at the end of the night, maybe calling real late, you want to go back, just watch a movie, you want to, bring food back and just play a game or something. I certainly see that too. So, and you who's watching, chime in as well. Let me catch up. I'm clearly behind. So Mojo, do we collect Lorcana? We don't. I had the opportunity to collect Lorcana, but I just did not. I'm not a big card gamer. I tried to do like my son does think like my son's very big into Pokemon, but I had Lorcana cards and I sold them just because I also just don't have the bandwidth for it. So, Brunette, nice to see you. Geo82 apparently has a fantastic and affordable bourbon flight. I may or may not be able to confirm that Geo82 has an amazing, I'm not saying from recent personal experience. However, from recent personal experience, I can tell you that they have an amazing old fashioned there. I was not ready to do the flight. The PB&J old. Where was the PB&J old fashioned, Becky? Where was that? I literally don't remember. I remember having it. I don't remember where. So. Can't wait for my. I'm incredibly grateful and honored that you are going to be there. Let me see. We need to do another treasure cruise. Kimberly, I agree with you. I would love to do another treasure cruise. We are, pardon the pun, we are navigating some things in terms of cruising because groups have become difficult to do, especially groups of the size that we often do. So we're working on it. We are working on it. I mean, I would be happy Becky, we just do a cruise and just like no official group events. Let's just all just be on the cruise together because I agree that I would love to get back on the treasure as well. So top 10 old fashions. Yes. If you need somebody to help, done. Sam also, it's amazing how many people like I volunteer for this tribute for the old fashions. Let me see. I'm catching up. Speaking of traveling, Becky says Disney is running specials at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and Disney Cruise Line this summer. If you don't have plans, it is a great time for a deal. Reach out to your Mouse Fan travel agent. They'll tell you about all of them. And I'm sure Becky has shared them I didn't see them. If you shared this recently, I didn't see if you shared it on your social. Make sure you follow Mouse Fan Travel and turn notifications so that when these things drop, you get notified as well. In memory of Muppet Vision, we should schedule an AVD. I actually go to Pittsburgh a couple of times. My daughter goes to school up there, so if they move it to Pittsburgh, it'll be very, very convenient for me. Paul says, I am from Liverpool, UK. Cheers, my friend. My son had, oh gosh, Skull Recovery today. He was given the all clear. We have just booked 2 weeks in All-Star Music. So it's like, I am so happy to hear that about your son and your family, and the fact that you are going to be able to go and celebrate that, Paul. I think that is amazing, and there is no better place to celebrate. Oh gosh, no better place to celebrate good news than Disney. So, yeah, Jack, reach out to me. We can meet up or get on a call. So. Can't wait to get some magic in Walt Disney World in August for my birthday. We're coming down just for sushi, says Heather. Well, maybe not just for sushi. If you need, and if you are a sushi person and are looking for places outside the parks for like really, really good sushi, I know a guy who can not only direct you there, but can go with you if you're afraid to go by yourself. So, let me see. Michael Camp, so good to see you, man. I hope you and your family are doing well. Been a long, long time. I still remember like meeting your family multiple times and your son in Port Orleans, Riverside, French Quarter, Riverside, Port Orleans, Riverside, right? Am I remembering correctly? A long, long, long time ago. Let me see. I'm behind. I'm catching up. Jennifer Subco, nice to see you as well. Right back at you. Come on. There you go. I have been talking to some folks who might actually still be here. I think Jeff, maybe was it Jeff? If you have like Meta glasses, or more importantly, if you have Apple Vision Pro, I would not be surprised. We had a long conversation about this. Yeah. I would not be surprised if Muppet Vision 3D was not available on your Apple Vision Pro, which I was almost convinced to not. I would never use it, but I was convinced. I don't know. I came back from Boise, and I came home to boxes from Amazon. There's a lot of new equipment and tech here, so if things look better, let me know. Like there's a couple things I'm doing that I like already, including the fact that there's no reflection in my glasses. So, Mike says, I just got back from Disneyland. First time. Felt like Lou the whole time. I don't know what that means. I'm afraid to read ahead. So many good snacks. Oh, whew. It felt good to experience Mr. Toad for old time's sake. There's nothing like the feeling of going to a park for the very first time. And that, we don't get it that often when there's something new to experience that we haven't seen or haven't done. Test Track is going to be another one. It's an update, but that's why I don't like watching the videos. I want to just have that thrill and joy of seeing it with my own eyes first. Taking my mother-in-law for her first trip and staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jiko or Sanaa? How much do you like your mother-in-law, Sean? I think that really is the question. They're both good. Jiko is a little bit more of an elevated experience, I think, than Sanaa. It also depends on your and her palates. I think the flavor profile of a lot of the food at Sanaa is just a little bit more on the exotic side, where at Jiko you can get an amazing steak, probably the best mac and cheese on property, which that in and of itself might be reason to go. So I think palate, think budget as well too, and the type of experience you want to go. Any Disney 4th of July plans? Yes, stay away from Disney, because I am not a crazy person, despite rumors to the contrary. Cindy Moat Steppen says, well, it was a Disney trip we recently got back from a river cruise in Holland, especially curated by our Mouse Fan Travel Planner Pro, Lori. It wasn't Epcot Flower and Garden, but it was also amazing to see the tulips, amazing trips. And I think that's one of the things people forget. And that's why I try and remind, it was in the newsletter today too, that Becky didn't read, that, it's not quote unquote just Disney. It's anywhere that you want to go. They're able to do that for you as well. Richard, 51 days to your treasure cruise. You are going to absolutely love it. What's up with the Wonders of Life? Will we hear at Destination D23? I hope so. Token Fanboy, if I literally start reading that out loud, I'll start singing that out loud, and then I'll start crying out loud. So I just can't do it because Jim Croce, I remember that song as a kid. Shaggy Rogers says, I'm really looking forward to coming to Momentum. Just booked my flight and hotel. I dig that, man. Thank you very much for being there. The ABG Japan sumo experience would be a hoot. It's actually very cool to see and learn. You learn a lot about what goes into being a sumo and just how big of a sport it is in Japan. Jeff Ganley says Storybook Canals. Do you know who's petrified of Storybook? Come closer. Becky Mankin is petrified of the big whale's mouth for some reason. I don't understand why. It's some sort of childhood trauma. It's fine. I'm going to move on. TD Mickeltree, nice to see you as well. Is that a Toothless by the light in the background? That is a Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad, Daredevil, Spider-Man. There are not any trained or untrained dragons in my room. Becky, Second Star Steph, which I love the name, by the way. When does Disneyland usually open up for bookings for January of next year? As of right now, it only allows through December. When does booking open up for Disneyland? Drew says 10J. God, now I'm thinking about bread service. Next week, Sanaa. I like this idea a lot. Eric and family from the Jersey Shore. Gosh, I haven't seen you. I probably wouldn't recognize you. Was the last time I saw your family in New York when we did the meetup before the cruise, which eons ago. Let's see. What is my favorite Disney board game? Token Fanboy. So my family loves Monopoly, and we have a few different versions of Monopoly. So I like Disney Monopoly. I don't know if I have, Disney Trivial Pursuit, obviously very much in my wheelhouse. But yeah, I like Disney Monopoly which we haven't played in ages because my kids are, let me see. Becky says, yes, there are big vacation homes nearby for the right family. Yes, we can book them. Yes. So Becky, I thought about that too, in terms of vacation homes, but I think they said, there was something that I read in the thing that made me think that they wanted to stay on property. But yeah, that is a great option. I actually rent a vacation home every year for my Momentum retreat. They are incredible. They're beautiful. They're huge. A lot of them are very well themed too. There's a lot of ones that have Disney theming in them as well. And they're not far from Walt Disney World as well. Which Amazing Spider-Man I am a collector and would love to so I'm in Spider-Man 700, which is, I don't know if you can see it there. It's up there. It's a variant cover on the wall. I also have the other regular cover on this one. I think there's 3 variant covers. So I think I've posted a photo of the panel in the clubhouse before, but yeah, it's number 700. Suzanne, the charcuterie from GO82 looks delicious. I may or may not have personal experience and can say I almost didn't order it because like charcuterie. I think it's the best charcuterie on property, and I may be doing it. Literally prompted me to go, I think I need to do a quest for the best charcuterie board on property. That one might be tough to beat. That might be, it's really, really good. It is definitely an upscale experience from soup to nuts. There's no soup there, but from soup to nuts, it is an upscale experience, but it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I think the PB&J at 50's prime time. Becky doesn't go, to Disney prime time. There's just way too many children there. We had it somewhere. I know. Oh, it was on the Treasure. That's it. It was on the Treasure because it came with, that's right. It came with the little mini PB&Js. Becky, you know what? I don't remember. My memory's getting foggy. Maybe we need to go back. Maybe we need to go back and try it one more time. Kevin had a special old-fashioned on a Disney cruise about the smoky reveal and presentation. Extra bonus. I agree. He also says that Jico is the way to go. Oh, Morimoto, yeah, for sushi. Gosh, I didn't forget about it, but God, that was amazing. That was a special night. That was a very, very special night. So, Mike, you just Japan flame brains falling out of my head. I didn't want to come back. I almost didn't. So, Lou, if you could travel back in time, what year would you go to and why? In Disney World, of course, what 3 things would you want to relive and see again? So there's a part of me that would say I would go back to September 30th, 1971, and I would camp outside the gate so I could be the very first person to get into the park and see what that opening day experience was like. As a backup, I would say October 1st, 1983, to see Epcot in its original form with the original Journey to Imagination, which opens on that day. Yeah, that's probably. Or I would go back to. I'll go back to November 22nd, 1963, when Walt, no, it would be after that. I'd be on property when Walt and his Imagineers were first sort of starting to walk the property. I'd be like, Walt, what are you doing here in the middle of the swamp? But no, those would be my first 2. That September 30th, 1971, and October 1st, 1983. Claire, I can't make any predictions about Destination D23. I think it's curiouser and curiouser that we have not heard anything about this event, which is it's a month and a half away, almost 2 months away, whatever it is. I'd love to throw out my imagination. They're finally going to update the pavilion thing, but I've become a broken record, but hopefully. So, Northeast Disney Dad, good to see you as well. I have gone to Epic Universe. I've gone to Epic Universe. I know, shocker. I've gone to Epic, and I survived. I survived going to Epic Universe. There'll definitely be I think there'll be a future conversation about that. I'll wait. Maybe what I'll do is I will wait until Her Royal Majesticalness sees it, and maybe we'll do like a Wednesday Night Live and chat about Epic Universe. So, yeah, Nate just asked me the same question, Heather. Yeah, so. Let me see. Let me quickly go through these. Becky says I'm not on Facebook. Oh, tell her Disneyland for January will release. So it wasn't on the Treasure. Where was it? Was it the Oasis? Listen, who knows? Suzanne, I'm in the past, I have always believed that Destination D23 was an opportunity for Disney to, in the presence of Walt Disney World fans, make an historic, large announcement like that. I've been wrong every other year. I'm wrong more often than that, but about that, I'm wrong every year. So I don't know if that's what D23 is for D23. I don't know if that's what they're going to use this for, and I don't know if the fact that we haven't heard anything means anything. So we'll see. Maybe maybe there's more that's being said in silence than not. So let me take one more question, and then I've got a lot of stuff happening here that you can't see that I need to get to tonight. What is something newer at Walt Disney World that my parents would have loved? I think that's a great question. God, and the first thing I thought of was my dad. Taking my dad to the park. I have my mom was always with us and my brother was with us, but I remember certain touch point moments with my dad in the parks. I think my dad would love Animal Kingdom. I think my dad would really love Animal Kingdom. I think he would be, I just looked over and there's a picture of my dad on the wall. Dad, I think you would like some of the utilization of the technology and the storytelling in the parks. I think you'd love the restaurants. If I could take my dad one place to something that he hadn't seen, he had been to Epcot. He'd been to Studios. He hadn't been to Animal. Had he been to Animal Kingdom? I don't think so. He'd been on Cruise Line. But is there something in World, like a specific one attraction I would take my dad to in World? I think he would dig Tower of Terror, right? Having grown up with Twilight Zone. Maybe Guardians. Yeah, that's interesting. What is the one place I would take my dad? I'll have to give that a little bit more thought. So, let's see. Oh, Utopia. Oasis Utopia. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Yeah, so it was Utopia of the Seas. So, yeah, where would I take my dad? I'm gonna have to think about that, especially in light of Father's Day having been recently. Where would I take I'm sure there's something incredibly obvious that I'm not thinking of. I don't know why I'm looking around my room for some sort of inspiration, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is you. Thank you very much for being here. I love and appreciate you. I am not going to inundate you with a barrage of different things. Just, what do I want to remind you of? I told you about momentum. I told you about Mouse Fan Travel. I told you about our trip on the Seine. We still do have availability. If you go to our events page, where is it? If you go to our events page at www.com/events, you can find out about some of the things we have coming up, and stay tuned. We are always announcing new things, and as you can see from Egypt, some things that are limited in size, they do go very, very, very fast. So it is also really important that you sign up for if you aren't on the newsletter list, go to www.com/subscribe. I don't spam you with it. I send one a week, maybe another one if there's something super special, but that too is a great way to make sure you get notified. You cannot rely on Facebook for notifications, and sometimes the show, comes out on a Monday and things happen pretty fast. So definitely subscribe to the newsletter as well. If there's ever anything I can do for you, please reach out and let me know. And again, if you have any questions, interested in coming to Momentum, I think I checked earlier today, I think we have 12 seats left. We sell out every year. These are going to go. The early bird special is going to end very soon. So if you're interested, go ahead and register or shoot me an email if you have any questions to see if Momentum is right for you. I love you. I appreciate you, and stay tuned. There's a lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun, new, interesting stuff that is coming from me and from Baymax. So until next time, have a great week.